Tower, India Charlie 82, is 2 miles west with Echo to land.
India Charlie 82, TH Tower, flight ready, runway 8 left, altimeter 2992. India Charlie 82, clear to land, runway 8 left.
Oh, here we go. Oh, touchdown. There we go. At last. Welcome to Berlin. Brake.
India Charlie 82, exit runway 18.
Yeah, fantastic, great. So thank you for joining me on this video of this narrated video, should I add, of my trip to Berlin at the end of November, start of December 2013. It was a trip that I've been looking forward to for half the year since it was booked, and I just couldn't wait to get over there and see the shops and the trains and the planes and everything else. So we'll go straight into the footage right now, and the first thing you notice is that Berlin is just so big. It's such a spread out city. The avenues are huge, there's trees everywhere. It's really nice. And something else you'll notice are these pink pipes. They're all over the place. They just sometimes pop up overnight, and it's the engineers basically pumping water out of where it's not needed directly to the river and stuff. And the traffic lights, the pedestrian crossings, is this cute little red man who then suddenly changes to the even cuter little green man who's got a right stride on him. He's really going. He's got a nice little hat as well. So here we are. I can't remember the name of this street, but it's not too far away from the hotel. I'll put the name of the street on in a little badge thing. That there is the underground. That's the U-bahn. That's where we're heading to, and that's where we headed to most days because it was the closest one. And that huge building behind it is a gigantic shopping centre, absolutely huge. So there we go, you can see the U-bahn, the underground barn. Wolfgang exit, I think that is. So here we descend down into, oh gosh, there's just so many platforms and stations, but this is just one of them. And thankfully I was with Patrick the whole time, who knows Berlin like the back of his hand, otherwise I'd have been lost. So here I am, trying to just get past the nicely dressed guy there, very trendy, and here I am trying to get footage of the U-bahn train coming in. But I was just so scared because I could hear trains coming in all around me, and yeah, it's okay, it's safe. just kept thinking one of them was going to knock me off or something. Oh, there's the very nicely dressed guy again. So here it comes, and as you can see, it actually came from an elevated rail section. And it's an old lady looking for something in a bag. So most of the underground in Germany isn't actually, well, in Berlin, isn't actually underground at all. It was above ground for miles, and then all of a sudden it has to drop underground to get to where we need to pick it up, because there's just so many buildings around. It has to be underground here. And it comes nice and steady. They're all yellow, and they did look a little bit out of date, to be honest, but they're very, very functional. So after just well, I think it was just one stop actually, we got off and had to get onto the S-bahn, which is what that is. And basically it's just a circular line. It's mostly, I think it's entirely above ground. And so again, a couple of stops later, we get off, just follow this lady in the nice mustard coloured coat. And then there's this blonde-haired lad with a jacket on somewhere. Going to cut in front of me now, I think. Oh, there he is. Yeah, he was right in front of me the whole time I was on the train. Couldn't get any good shots. Annoying. But this is the main Berlin station, and it's absolutely huge. There's about 4 or 5 levels with trains on each level. It's just absolutely mind-blowing. So here we travel down the escalator. You'll see that even though there's German everywhere, the Burger King logos and the Pizza Hut logos are all still English. You get used to that. Not even upper crust. Can't believe that. There's one of them in Crewe. But the Germans are used to it. They genuinely are used to it. So here we go. The main station opens up now, and it's absolutely massive. It really is huge. There's escalators all over the place. There's trains crisscrossing each other all over the place. Patrick got better at this. He stopped getting in my way all the time. You get to see quite a lot of his super dry jacket, that's for sure. But you see what I mean? There's trains down there, and there's actually trains that run perpendicular to where we are as well. I think that's the right word. Yeah, I'm sure it is. So we were heading towards the main exit, and they had this gigantic Christmas tree, which you can see just down there. It really was stunning. I get a shot of that tree in a bit. It was huge, absolutely huge, really, really beautiful. The Germans take Christmas really seriously. They really do enjoy Christmas. So just look at that. Absolutely massive. And then while I was looking at that, this ice train shoots right in over the top of my head. I was like, whoa, where'd that come from? Hey, you're one of the famous ice trains, and you just pulled in. Right, I need to go and check that out straight away. So I ran, left Patrick. Patrick was like, huh, what? Will, where have you gone? I ran over to this escalator, went up, and fought my way through the crowds of people to get to this ice train. So here we go, Deutschbahn, as you can see, basically German rail, British rail, more or less. So here's the ice train, the Intercity Express, and they are ace. They seriously are. The ice is truly ace. It's amazing, really, really fast. That's one of the S-Bahn trains over there, just pulling out. And just as I was trying to get a good lead, the driver puts his foot down. I know he doesn't really put his foot down, but yeah, he just started to leave the station. Like, no, you're not going to film me. I thought, hey, you cheeky meanie. But yeah, there he was, pulling out nice and slowly for me. I got a great shot. You do notice little bits of graffiti on some of the trains, on quite a lot of the trains actually. Graffiti is really big in Berlin, quite big in Germany. But that's fine, because fighting's not that big, you know. It's not like London or Manchester on a Saturday night. I didn't see a single fight the whole time I was there. Nothing. Not even anyone rowdy. They're just all so well behaved. It really is so different. So if graffiti is the worst they get up to, I think we can live with that. But just look at that. It needs a bit of a wash, it has to be said. But it really was just an amazing train. Just so slowly cruising out of Berlin there. So deceiving, because those things go fast, really fast. We were so lucky today as well, because I just happened to have my camcorder on me and it was absolutely gorgeous. Look at the sun, barely a cloud in the sky. So I walked to the end of the platform and realised there was this massive DB logo. I thought, that's really cool, but I want to get a better shot of that. So I did. Yep, this is the TV tower. This is the gigantic TV tower in Berlin, the one that was built by East Germany when it was under communist rule. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce it. I'll put it on screen for you now. There you go. Is it the Fernstrom? I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. I did get quite good at some German, but I haven't a clue. So here we are inside the tower, and this bit apparently has remained unchanged. This is how it was when it was under communist rule. I don't know if that's true, but just look how fast those escalators go. Look at that. That little red light is the escalator. The lift. That is amazing. So fast. Seriously, it takes about 30 seconds or something to travel, well, as you can see, over 200 meters. It's like a roller coaster ride. It's amazing. And then this really cheery black dude came out of the lift, and he was just ace. He was such a character. He was so funny. So here we are up on the observation deck, because there's an observation deck and a restaurant deck, and this is just the observation floor. There's the queue of people waiting to go down, and I was like, well, this is great, people, but I want to get a view. So I had to travel for ages just to find a place where I could cut in and get a shot of outside. It was really annoying. It was just so popular, so busy. Here we go. I'm just going to squeeze in. Oh, look, you could just see the shadow of the tower there stretched out over the city. I didn't even notice it. And the reason I didn't even notice it is because I noticed something else instead. Oh, yes. Just hang on. 3, 2, 1, there you go. Planes. We were so high that you could see aircraft coming into the main airport there, the Tegel Airport? Tegel? You really were that high up that for most of their approach you're higher than them, really. It's quite amazing. And you get such a great view of the city from this tower, as you can imagine. And on a clear day like today, oh, it's amazing. So here we are on the restaurant deck, because we did have a table booked. It was only coffee and cake and stuff. It wasn't anything amazing, but it was nice. The food was amazing. But you can go up there for a whole, 4-course meal if you want to. And look, it's revolving. Patrick was like, be careful, Will, you might fall over. Because I had my feet on both sides of that gold strip, and it genuinely does revolve. It's only about 0.3 miles per hour or something. It's not very fast. It'd be really fun if they whacked up to about 50 miles an hour, wouldn't it? But yeah, the whole thing revolves, so you get a view of the entire city. And then Patrick's like, ooh, cakes. Yeah, loads of nice cakes. This is a shot of East Berlin, I think. We've got a police helicopter over there. I think it was police, I don't know. But it seemed to be hovering around for a long time. It could have been traffic. It could have been a traffic helicopter. But look at those buildings. I mean, you can tell that's East Berlin. The buildings are just so big and uniform and prefabricated. But yeah, there's gigantic factories everywhere. I'm pretty sure that's East Berlin anyway. It's close. Yeah, it is. I'm sure it's East Berlin. Look, those are the famous coloured blocks of flats there. The blue, yellow, and red ones. Yeah, that's definitely East Berlin. And it looks like there's a Christmas market or something down there with a big wheel. There's Christmas markets everywhere. And now I've done the German Christmas markets. I'm sorry, but the ones in Manchester are just rubbish compared to the ones in Germany. They really are just pants. So if you really enjoy the Christmas markets in Manchester, I do recommend going over to Berlin and seeing them there. They're 10 times the size, and they're just amazing. I found this shot mesmerising, just looking at that sun bouncing across the tops of all those buildings. I mean, you're just that high. You're over 200 metres up. I'm not sure what that is in feet, but trust me, it's pretty high. Mesmerising. I was just transfixed. Everybody else was staring at me. And here I've sat down and I'm actually having something to drink and something to eat. I'm being good. Patrick was like, "Oi, sit down, come on, behave." So I'm sat down, but I'm still filming, just can't help it. It's just amazing. Such a great view from this tower. Absolutely brilliant. And you can see how the whole thing's revolving. You see, because we're on a revolving bit, but the structure outside obviously doesn't revolve, so every now and again you have to stop filming because this gigantic pillar goes past you. That orange juice was freshly squeezed, by the way, and it was gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I so want one of those machines. And just look at those cakes. Beautiful. The prices were really reasonable too. That's something they're building down there. I don't know what that is. It's absolutely huge. And then here's a hot air balloon. Well, I assume it's hot air balloon. Hydrogen's pretty dangerous. It's got quite a big capsule on the bottom, hasn't it? You can see all the people in it. I don't know where you catch that from. I don't know how much that costs or anything. But it never got as high as the TV tower anyway. So, and that cathedral there, there's two huge cathedrals. There's so many different denominations of the Christian religion, aren't there? And that belongs to one of them. It was an amazing building, really big. But I seem to be more interested in zooming in on a group of school children crossing the road, because I was just amazed with how good the zoom was on this camcorder. It really was impressive. But yeah, that bit of Xbox One advertising there. Yeah, the cathedral is amazing. It's right opposite the DDR museum as well, the Deutsche Democratic Republic Museum, which is the Cold War museum. And I love this shot. I'm zooming in on an ice train crossing the river. Just look at that. Beautiful. They're such long trains. They really are so big. There's just such a nice, graceful appearance about them. And I love the white livery as well. It's really nice. It stands out. I guess it's quite hard to keep clean. So they probably don't bother a lot of the time. And there you can see it pulling into one of the stations. It's not the main Berlin one. It's not the one I was at a bit ago, but it is one of the other stations in Berlin. There's quite a few. Well, I say quite a few. There's nowhere near as many as there are in London, but that's because most of them are bombed. And then this shot looks quite uninteresting and nothing special, but if you look closer and you zoom in, and you zoom in, and you zoom in, and you zoom in, and a bit further, voila. There it is. That's where the east met the west. That's where the wall was. There's the Brandenburg Gate, when Berlin was divided into two. Oh gosh, I can't remember what that thing further on is. I'll have to put it up in a badge. I'll put a little label on. But we never got to see that. There was just so much to see. It's an amazing city, by the way. Its shopping is so good there. Way better than London. So much better than London. Here I am again, filming another jet coming in. I think that's an Airbus. No, it looked like a Boeing 737-800 series. Massive winglets. Oh, I've lost it. It's been abducted. Oh no, it's there. The aliens have left it alone. Yeah, you can see that coming in. Yeah, it's definitely a 737-800, isn't it? Air Berlin, I think. Very good zoom on the camcorder, isn't it? I've got to admit. That's one of the German markets there, right there. That's one of them. There's loads. They're all over the place. They're huge. They're really, really good. It's such a nice atmosphere. You know, you get your Glühwein and your currywurst. Not that I'm ever touching curried sausage again. Trust me. I think I brought most of it back up. But I did have a stomach bug for the trip. Yeah. Oh, never mind. That road there, again, I'll put a label on as to what it's called. But that's the avenue that they used to march the troops and tanks down. So, back down on terra firma at the main Berlin station again. We've got an S-Bahn train coming in there, over on the far platform. And I thought, well, I'll take a walk down to the other end and see some of the other trains and trams. Now this tram coming here, this is a really old one. This is a really old tram. It's from the 1980s or 90s, I think. Really quite old. They've got, well, we kept calling them communist trams because they were, they dated back to that period. And then this tram here, just look at that, the whole thing's indicating left, just because it's crossing all the roads to let people know that that's where it's going. It's just so cool. Everything worked so well in Berlin, everything was so efficient, it really was impressive. So again, a label will tell you what this is, but this is the same station, it's one of the regional trains leaving, heading for another city. The loading gauge on the continent is bigger than in Britain, so the trains are bigger as well. And most of them are double deck, just like this one here. See, there's an upper and a bottom, an upper and a lower, and it really is quite cool. And I saw a restaurant service on all of them as well. I tell you, we could learn a lot from what the people do on the continent. Another tram pulling out. It's not an old one. That one's quite modern. That one's quite new, I think. Or maybe I've got it wrong. Maybe that's the old one. No, I could be wrong. I think that's the really old one. Oh, I don't know. Just look at that. I didn't see a single diesel locomotive, and I certainly didn't see any steam locomotives, but electric locomotives are all over the place. They're everywhere. Obviously, with the Germans being so efficient and organised, I think a huge proportion of their lines are electrified. And then just a little bit of footage of a nice train leaving. That funny looking sign there with the man who looks like he's about to start doing the YMCA. That's the do not pass, do not go beyond this point sign. But yeah, you can see the restaurant car there in the middle, just going out of shot now, a really bulbous one. And there's the back of the ice train. So where that's going to, I don't know. It could be Leipzig, it could be Hamburg, but it'll get there in no time, that's for sure. They're so fast. And then we've got a really, really new S-Bahn train coming in, just here. They're huge, aren't they? So long. But as you can see, they're not crowded. I didn't see a single crowded train. It's not like London. Not a single crowded train. And this was Sunday afternoon. If this was London, that would be packed. But it wasn't. It wasn't packed. And for people missing the Virgin Pendolinos, Virgin were there, but in shop form only. So here we are at the Locks Miniature Wonderland, the miniature railway. We read about this when we were up the tower, and we were just having coffee and cake, and Patrick was looking on his phone and found that there was actually a model railway in Berlin. So we had to find it, and we did, and it was about €10 each or something to get inside, so it's about 7 or 8 quid. and it was just incredible. I'm not kidding you. It was huge, as you can see. And there was trams, there were steam trains, there were diesel trains, electric trains, and there were even trucks and cars and ambulances and fire bus. Fire bus? What was a fire bus? Fire trucks and buses, coaches, and planes. I don't know what class of locomotive that is, but just watch the little signal next to it. Watch. There we go. I think it's the biggest digitally controlled layout in the whole world. They kept making a big hoo-ha about that anyway. I know that there's the Miniature Wonderland in Hamburg, the biggest in the world, but I don't think it's 100% digitally controlled. This is, or something like that anyway. So they made a big song and dance about that, and it was impressive, I must admit. Oh, we saw one of those a bit ago, a real full-size one, and there's the HO scale one. And look at that bus there, look at that, well, it's a coach, isn't it, but look at that. I don't know how it works, you know. I mean, is it magnets underneath? Because we couldn't see any tracks, we couldn't see any string or anything pulling it along. It must be magnets underneath. I don't know. It must be. I haven't looked it up. I don't want to ruin the magic. But there's just trains everywhere. Look, we've got like an S-Bahn train coming in there, and then this is the ICE train. Really, really fancy looking, fast one. Look at the size of it. And this is just tiny compared to the one in Hamburg, so gosh, the one in Hamburg must be mind-blowing. And then this thing sped up so much. I was like running along the side, knocking people out of my way, sending kids flying, just so I could get a good shot of this. Look at that. I kept hoping that I'd see a train shoot down that valley line there, but I never did. Maybe they weren't running on that line today. Or maybe I just wasn't stood there long enough, I don't know. There was just so much to see. Trains everywhere. Honestly, there were trains everywhere you looked. That's a diesel. Again, I'm not too sure what class it is, but there's definitely a German diesel engine pulling a freight train of some sort. It could be ballast or coal or iron ore. Not sure. Another S-Bahn train. A much older looking one. Again, I can't help you, I'm afraid. I can't tell you. I don't know what class of locomotive that is. All I can tell you is that it was ace. It looked cool. It was a cool train. They were all cool. Just look at that shot there. Look, I can count at least 4 trains running, all in one shot. And then there were, yeah, you kept seeing these all over the place. All these little phones, Samsung Galaxies, tilted over onto their side, playing little random video clips. I think the whole thing was sponsored by Samsung, basically. And here you see a HO scale tram, just like they have running around the city, coming in onto this little feedback loop type thing, this little reverse loop, a return loop, and it really was so amazing. It just slowed down really, really gradually and then stopped at the station. Watch. There we go. whilst I was stood there watching it, this other tram came in as well and pulled up just behind it. So clever. Really, really impressive. And then, all of a sudden, the whole thing turns to night. And I just thought, wow, I had no idea it was going to do that. But it's got like hundreds of fluorescent tubes that were all different colours in the ceiling. And they were just flickering on and off the whole time to create, you know, sunsets and then nighttime and then, you know, the dawn and daytime again. Just look at that. And there's the tower again, the TV tower. I've been up that. Not the HO scale one, but the real one. Yeah, absolutely. It was just amazing. Did you see that truck then on the road? I missed that. I was too busy looking at the train, but there was a truck there driving itself. You get used to that. They even indicate, the trucks even indicate like when they're going to turn right, and then they actually do turn right. It's just amazing. That's the TV tower again. I think I was holding the camcorder really high above my head for this shot. I do apologise if any of it is a bit blurry at times or out of focus, but there was so little light in there that the camcorder was really struggling to autofocus. So I do try my best. Sometimes it helps if you zoom in or zoom out. So yeah, apologies if some of the footage isn't of the usual quality you're used to, but I tried to do my best. So like right now it's really blurry, and then bang, all of a sudden it comes into focus. It's just so bizarre. But that station there, I think that's supposed to be the main Berlin station. It was huge. Just look at the buildings, look at all those lights. Isn't that incredible? I hope you're not expecting anything like this when you see the proper layout, by the way, because it's nowhere near like this. Nowhere near. And to have even lights lit up inside the trains is just such a nice touch. And nearly every one of them was. Oh, there's Patrick. And then, bang, just minutes later, it's daytime again. And you can see one of the main DB Express trains coming through now. There we go. It just roars past and shoots into a tunnel. Brilliant. So much scenery to take in, there really was. The attention to detail, it was amazing. And I was now on the other side of the layout, so I got a good look at the control mechanisms. Look at this, look at all these screens. Isn't that just mind-blowing? Computers everywhere. CCTV everywhere. This was just some gigantic music festival, I think, modelled in HO scale. Again, sponsored by Samsung. Genuinely, I think Samsung have given this model railway club quite a bit of money for all of this advertising. But it was, it was pretty cool. It's quite fun. Very well done, it has to be said. Again, another ice train. It's making its way over that multi-lane highway there. Much of the layout was modelled on actual Berlin. Much of it was very, very accurate, but obviously it's not 100% accurate. It is only a model railway after all. I think that's just an S-Bahn train coming in there. I'm not too sure. I didn't catch that. And look at this. Just try and count how many LEDs there are there. It's absolutely amazing. Don't ask me what class it is, I don't know. But it did look a little bit like a Western. Just a little bit. Everything ran so well. Just like the real things, really. It's just Germany all over, isn't it? It just works. It's just efficient. I loved it. I love this shot. This is my favourite shot of all this is. We've just got one train snaking its way in whilst another one snakes its way out. Brilliant. The whole time, I kept hearing these planes. I don't know if you've heard them, but I kept hearing these planes, and well, you'll see what I find out later. Trust me. And as I said earlier, look at all the indicators going on. Watch that truck. Did you see the brake lights? Come on, then. If you didn't, just whack the slider back on your YouTube video player or whatever, and watch that again, and see the brake lights come on, just as it stops. It's incredible. Just look at all these trains coming out of here now. There were too many to get into shot, basically. And the way they stop automatically at the stations, and they hang there for about a few minutes before pulling out again. Ah. Well, I did say, I've been saying for ages that computer control is the way to go if you want to do an exhibition layout like this. And as you can see, it's a no-brainer, isn't it? It would be impossible to do this without such amazing computer and digital control. It's just mind-blowing. All this is what the E-Link stuff was born for, basically. E-Link, the latest thing from Hornby, was just born to do this. I don't think that's what they were using, but it is all DCC. Everything you see here is digital. It's all DCC, and they're just using, I don't know if it's a proprietary system or if it's something that's freely available in Germany, but it's something that, I say freely, I mean easily available, I should say. I doubt it's free, but it really was impressive. There's the TV tower again. Nice block of flats. They're just a block of flats, but even in HO scale, they look brilliant. Oh, struggling to focus. Struggling to focus. Are we going to get a focus? No. Oh, and then all of a sudden, the sun comes up. I won't sing any more than that, in case I get done for copyright. But yeah, it really was amazing. I think I do pan the camera up and have a look at all the lights and show you how they were changing. Or maybe I don't. Maybe I do that later. Maybe I did it earlier. I'm not sure. Another double-decker HO scale train shooting past there. And then I think one comes past us. Yeah, there we go. So one comes out of the tunnel and one plunges in. Brilliant. And look at the overhead system. And then I noticed this. Look at that. Holidays are coming, holidays are coming. Always Coca-Cola. Nice little touch there. And right on the end, there was this little machine. So Patrick pushed the button for me whilst I filmed. And, well, at first I had no idea what it did. When I was filming this, I did know what it was doing, obviously, because I'd already pushed it myself a bit earlier. But yeah, you see that roller there with all the well, it's got like a foil print on it. I just kept thinking, what is it doing? What is all this? I mean, this is all very nice, but what's it supposed to be doing? And I did actually miss it when I was capturing this bit of footage. But if you just wait a second. There we go. You get a free chocolate. Isn't that brilliant? So here's one of the airports that they're building, that they're working on. And I just thought, well, this is very good, very fancy. And this must be where all the aeroplane sounds have been coming from the whole time. But there's no planes here. There's no runways. It's not that good, actually. So I was really disappointed. And then I walked over here to go look at like this little one for the kids. And then Patrick was like, have you seen the airport? I was like, whoa! Right at the back, behind these massive screens, they've modelled the whole airport as well. in HO scale again, obviously. And just look at this. Now, they never have proper daylight in this section. It seems to only go from a sort of twilight to darkness, and then back to twilight, and then back to darkness again. Just look at that. As soon as I saw that roll down there, I just thought, wow. I was like a little kid. I was grinning so much that my cheeks hurt. They really did. So it looks like an Airbus A340 in Air France livery that's just pulled up. And what I didn't catch on camcorder is that a bus actually drives around. You see the bus in a second, watch. You get a shot of the bus. There it is. See that bus? That bus makes its way right the way round to that A340, pulls up next to it, and then drives off again. I mean, how do they do it? It's just incredible. So many LEDs everywhere. So I was lucky enough to, well, I say look, I didn't have to wait very long, to be honest, but I think that's a Boeing 737 Aer Lingus, or it could have been an Airbus A320 or A321, but it was making its way down to the start of the runway, and I thought, no way, that is not going to take off. And it does. Watch. Oh, and you get to see the train in the foreground as well, the one over towards the left. It starts coming out of that station just as the plane's about to take off. Here we go. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? What do you say about that then, eh? Trains, coaches and planes. I mean, I could have spent all week here easily. And then another one rolled out. I'm not too sure what that is. It looks like an Airbus A330. I'm not too sure what airline. But again, we didn't know how it worked. But they all have this like sort of gigantic wheel in the middle underneath the fuselage. That's not driving it though. I think that's just guiding it. Again, I don't know if it's magnets underneath or what, but it was just so impressive. And they just roll out onto the start of the runway there, and then they power up for about a minute. I don't know why it takes so long. I don't know if he's just making a cup of tea, or maybe he's lost, maybe he's getting out a road map or something. It's like, so where are we going? Paris, Charles de Gaulle. That's by Los Angeles, isn't it? No, I don't know. But you can see how it's gone much darker now. And that's about as dark as it gets. So again, apologies for the lack of focus and stuff. Any second. Isn't that just mesmerising? Well, that's it. The plane's taken off, and it's time for me to fly back as well. Well, I hope you enjoyed the footage. Thank you for watching, and I know it's a really long video, but I hope you enjoyed it. I really did, and I definitely recommend you go to Berlin and check out that city as soon as you can, because it is just amazing. It is genuinely brilliant for shopping, and it's so inexpensive as well. London is really expensive, it's ridiculous, but Berlin, the prices were really reasonable. It doesn't matter whether you're eating out and having a 3-course meal, or you're just buying a packet of Capri-Sonne from the spa in the underground. Everything was reasonably priced. And the Germans were so friendly, and they were so welcoming, and they loved the British as well. They genuinely do love the British, and that's quite rare amongst the countries in Europe, I think, because I don't think a lot of them love us. But the Germans, they're definitely more than okay with us. So yeah, definitely get out there, go check it out. You will love it, and they will love you. And I just want to thank you for watching, and I want to thank Germany for having me. And it was a brilliant trip. Thank you.